Okay, guys, we're back, and I have a story for you. I've got some great information here, and I've been able to put two and two together from a long voyage of sun gazing, and I didn't know I've been using DMT all this time out of my own brain. I had no fucking clue until I did DMT last night. So this is very interesting. The first time I did DMT was like several years ago. It didn't do anything because I wasn't even sun gazing at the time. It didn't do nothing. It was like shit was melting or whatever the fuck. It didn't do anything. This time, since my shit's out, I went into the fourth dimensional space that we call this cool world place, all right? And it was the same as here, except for everybody was moving. And there was beings there that weren't like not human. It didn't make sense. But when I got there, it started to make sense. The Twilight Zone episode when the boy says, "I'm sending you to the cartoon world," and this rabbit comes out of the hat, and it was like a real rabbit, but it was a cartoon. That's what the cool world is. SpongeBob SquarePants, my friend, came out in the astral space, obviously here. He saw SpongeBob existing in real life in this space. Now, it didn't make sense to me then, but now it makes sense to me now. Guys, there's no such thing as imagination, all right? They've got us so brainwashed in here. Holy fuck. Mr. Cheeks shapeshifts so much in my astral space that it didn't dawn on me that he was not even an angel, and neither is Gadriel or any of these. They're just doodles. If you watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Roger Rabbit is the sun idol, which is the white rabbit that forms like the spears and the flux capacitor and all that. When you're staring into it, you get knocked on the head, and you learn how to make time travel and this bullshit. All right, so the white rabbit is Mr. Cheeks, all right? And Jessica Rabbit is Holly from Cool World. And the dude that's trying to destroy him is the dude in all black who was just a doodle himself. See what I'm saying? There's no angels. That's that heaven and hell shit they've been teaching us. So, man, we're so fucking brainwashed. My motherfucking ass was brainwashed. And I just had no freaking clue that, I mean, shit, I still had more growing to do. Obviously, there's always so much more to learn every day. But the sun is just a doodle. And that's why he kind of looks cartoony. And it didn't make sense before. He looks real, but he kind of looks like a cartoon, and it doesn't make any damn sense. But now it does. All right, so I get into this astral space. I started realizing where they came up with Ratfink, where they came up with SpongeBob, where I came up with all my characters all my life. I've been literally peering into this cool world space, just like Jakk Deebs, thinking that I came up with the canned characters with a grill. I came up with these different creatures, these hip-hop character toys that I used to make, and they already existed. They already existed here in this space. So every time we come up with like a SpongeBob or something, it's already here. Q-Bert, I saw a blue one that was like, his skin was made of rubber, like silicone rubber, but he was like a cartoon, and his face was like really kind of like saggy with lines right there. It was like a real dude. That was Q-Bert, but he was blue. He had this rosiness in his face, and it was like translucent, like I could see through the rubber, like you could see organs in there. I was like, what? So this is last night. Now, my buddy comes over after I shoot the I'm Coming Out video, and guess what comes on? He hands me DMT, and guess what fucking comes on the radio? Huey Lewis in the news, I need a new drug, bro. Then I was just like, okay, I'm supposed to take this DMT. So I immediately got with it. I was like, okay, I'm supposed to take this DMT tonight. So I take the DMT, I get there, I see a hut house dancing. A house that's a hut, like a mushroom, but it's hopping on one foot. The trees and all that just look like they are here. But these are the beings that are hiding that we are not able to see because we're using 10% of half of our brain, man. When they came up with Ratfink, they pulled them out of this. That's it. This was like a LOL surprise bird girl that showed up first. And I guess I was sitting on my butt or something, because I was really low to the ground. And this being comes walking up, like not even speaking a language, but like that, like a bird would, but it was like not. So I was just like, what? You've got a human face, but you're a bird. Your head's shaped like, hey Arnold, what the fuck are you? Like, I was just like, and then I started looking around, and I think she thought I was a little nervous. So she goes, well, and I ran across this one, and he was kind of like, oh man, you're a little nervous. He instantly sensed me. And she's like, well, when you come here, this is what you're gonna be seeing now. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I can't handle this. So then I seen this dog. He was like a Dalmatian man. And I'm starting to realize that maybe these demons that we think are demons, maybe the idea came from the fourth dimension, like a reptilian or whatever, because it's weird, because it's like, how can they exist here and then exist? How can a dog man or a bird man exist in the fourth dimensional space unless they've always just existed, and we're being told that they're demons because of the heaven and hell lie? So it's really coming clear, man, like, and you won't even fucking believe it. Just like Jakk Deebs, man. Oh my gosh. I started drawing this shit that I saw last night. Immediately, electricity starts shooting all up the side of my face and all up my arms. And I was like, dude, I'm finna go right back in this motherfucker. On my own. Because the DMT is loose in my head. For my own supply of DMT. Now, if you think I'm not gonna do that shit again and go back into this place again, then you gotta be crazy, because I wanna go back here again. I'm gonna go deep in there again. I was in here for about 30 minutes. And it looks exactly, the trees are all happy, but they're extremely expressive and alive. And that's what we're missing, is that somehow, whether the dude got thrown a bone to just kind of like play on the idea that maybe he thought that if he had a chance to maybe keep us out of this simulation, that maybe he might have a chance to deceive us, to prove to his maker or his mom that maybe we do belong in some other construct, or maybe that the doodles were getting away from his lying, so it would just automatically just be a void contest of an attempt to prove that we might want to follow the beast and be devoured or whatever. So I feel like he's being thrown a bone in the beginning before it became out of control, or he just figured out how to keep it separated or whatever. But this shit is fucking unbelievable. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, it was a real cartoonish, just like the rabbit that came out of the hat on Tales from the Dark Side, or Twilight Zone the movie, when the boy had the fourth dimensional powers. That motherfucker looked like a real Dalmatian man. I was like, wow. And that's exactly what it looked like. As soon as I drew this shit, this electricity started shooting out my arms. I was like, man, I'm about to go right back in this motherfucker. Because I'm drawing it, and then I instantly picked up on the Jakk Deebs drawing the holly and inducing this trip into the cool world. So, hey, I recommend maybe you guys, try some of these different techniques and see what it does for you. And try drawing some of them so you can try to remember and try to keep your foot into the cool world. Keep your foot in there, and it'll make a bigger gateway, because all of this, like even the idea of Super Saiyanism, I'm just turning into a doodle. It's an electrical response of synapses that are being unleashed from a calcification that keeps the synapses from taking over the body, that changes and decreases the optimization of you having access to full electrical synapses optimization, or if that makes sense. Like, for instance, the brain is calcified, right? The center of the brain is like the librarian, like on Tears for Fears. When the librarian is activated in the pineal, you have access to all the files. You don't use 10% of half your brain. Now, if this gets freed and it breaks out, you're going to receive More electrical synapses when it comes to your motor skills. More electrical synapses when it comes to your running, because that's an electrical synapses. Your jumping, everything in tandem becomes heightened, and that is what the Goku is. It's an explosion of electrical synapses to the point that where they're not hidden, they're free to roam, and it takes over. And that's why Jakk Deebs got covered with electricity, and that's why Goku uses electricity, and that's why electricity covered the Weird Science house when they went into the 4th dimension and weird shit started happening in the damn house. That's fucking why. And man, I gotta get back to this place again, because I know now that I've triggered something that is allowing me to have access to it even when I'm not using it, because I'm accessing my own DMT. And I had no clue that I was doing this until I did DMT just last night to compare, to see from the recreational DMT to using and accessing my own DMT, which is what I literally just did about 5 minutes ago when I drew this. Literally, it started sending electricity up the arm, and it was like, man, I'm waiting on a voice to say, come on back or something, because that's the only thing that was missing from that whole moment from just now. But when I was in there, she was like, you're gonna see these kind of people. That's cool, you know? And I was like, of course. But at first I was kind of nervous because I've never seen a real Cubert before. That shit doesn't make any damn sense. But it does now. So I just wanted to share that with y'all and to let you know that I'm not stopping. Even at night, I'm still gonna break on through to the other side, to the cool world. And I'm still trying day and night now at this point, because I'm gonna make this my reality. And then when Superman Jack happens, it's because he was actually next to the spear when it happens, when they were on top of that Vegas Vinny's hotel, and he pulls the spike out and he turns into a Superman immediately. It kind of reminded me of that time when I was on the porch and my horn spiraled out because I didn't drink alcohol or smoke weed for like 3 weeks. And then I slammed it, and then the shit just, wow, I can do anything I want in here. Like, it was immediately, I instantly realized. And that's exactly what happens to the Superman Jack. When he gets near the spike, he just turns into the Superman, like, immediately. He was like, oh, shit, I got superpowers. Like, it was just like glass. Like, you immediately acknowledge it. Oh, it's time to bust through this concrete. It's weird. It's like, what? So these motherfuckers are really some real assholes in here that did this to us. There's a lot of worldly attachments, words like angels, demons, that are perplexing and destroy the understanding that there's a place that exists beyond what we are told, that is imagination, which is a fucking lie. There is no such thing as imagination. When we pull shit out of our mind, it's coming from this place, and that is it. There is no imagination. There's no angels or demons. They're just a bunch of doodles, yo. And when you start seeing them in your clothes, when you start seeing them in the trees, you have your foot into the 4th dimension. And if some of you started seeing this because I helped you, I'm so happy that I was able to do it. And I'm so happy that I was able to do it. It's such a gratificating, realistic moment. And another thing, Sly Fox tells you, one more thing, Sly Fox, let's go all the way. Check this song out. I'm gonna post the lyrics. He says, cartoon capers happen in reality. Rich man, poor man are living in a fantasy. What? So the state, the government, everything is just mind control, because we're just fucking these unicorn things that are just like super beings that exist with other fanatical super beings, if that makes sense. It's unbelievable. It's fucking unbelievable. So this paper world that we're living in, with all this paper and cuticle working and factory working and shit, that's just a figment of our imagination. That is our imagination. The real world is the truth that is stranger than fiction. This is Grim Nasty. Thanks for watching. And there's more coming soon as I continue to break out. This is all part of it. I'm feeling electricity like more than ever. And the more I break into this 4th dimensional space, I'm going to have full access to all this optimization. And here comes the Superman, guys. Unbelievable. And I hope that you guys get the same out of it. Because hey, if I can touch you on the shoulder and help you turn, if she says, hey, go ahead and spread this is a good guy here, or this is a good lady, she's going to be responsible. She's not going to throw a car and hit a kid or something, you know, then I'll share the wealth. I have no fucking problem with it. I don't want to keep it all to myself. I want everybody to be benefiting this shit. So, stay tuned for the next episode of Grim Nasty TV. This is just the most amazing milestone yet. Literally stepped into the damn cool world last night. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. And I'm going back, Jack. And that's a fact. Because our existence is whack. Forget all those money stacks. This is where it's at. Grim Nasty over and out. And when you get awake, stay awake.